Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Leilani and today's video is going to be another birthday type video. My birthday is coming up very soon and I wanted to do some videos like, I don't know, just about my birthday because I am that narcissistic. Pretty much today's video is just going to be a get ready with me, and I'm going to talk about what I learned at the age of 18. And I feel like it's more of just me reflecting on things that have happened in my life in the past year and maybe just kind of, I don't know, giving advice to people who are turning 18. That's like a big age and I learned a lot, so I just wanted to share it. So yeah, that's pretty much what this video is going to be. But before I do get into it, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Go ahead and comment down below what you think and what you learned at 18 or whatever age you're at. What did you learn? What have you learned so far? Anything like that, go ahead and leave that in the comment section down below. And please do subscribe to my channel. I post every single Tuesday and every single Friday. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this video. So for eyeshadow, I'm actually going to do something really crazy. I don't know. I'm going to try to use as many of these palettes as I possibly can. I have all of these Makeup Revolution palettes, and Makeup Revolution just did like this PR list thing, and I want to do a look for it to try to get on the PR list. I probably won't get on it. I saw the looks that they were doing and I was like, I know, like you have to have like a PhD to do some of the looks that I saw, but I decided why not give it a try and just, kind of do what I can and just play around. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for my eyeshadow, just in case you get a little confused as to why I'm using like 8,000 palettes. That's why. So I just want to start this off by pretty much just saying that 18 wasn't the best age for me. It wasn't the best year. It was actually one of the hardest years. The past 2 years have been really hard for me, and things just haven't been going my way. And at 18, that was it was hard to kind of deal with what I had to deal with in life. I don't want to say I was depressed, but I definitely went through a lot where I just was not happy. I'm getting better with that, but I really wasn't happy. Like, I was really just kind of going through the motions of life. And, I kind of felt alone a lot of the times. I don't have many friends. And so I just felt really alone, really sad all the time. My best friend lives in the Bay and, I can't see her that much. And then, my friends have, different things that they have to do with school and everything. And I just kind of felt really alone. And I felt like a loser. If I'm going to be completely honest, I felt like a loser. But one thing that I did learn, and this is the first and probably the biggest lesson that I learned that, everything really does happen for a reason. I used to say that a lot. I still say that a lot, especially when telling my friends. I love giving my friends the best advice. Like, I don't know, I give my friends great advice. I never take my own advice, but I always tell them, everything happens for a reason. But when it started happening to me, I just couldn't wrap my head around the stuff that was going on in my life. And, I realized more recently that, everything happens for a reason. A scripture, I'm a Christian, and a scripture that I've been introduced to pretty recently is everything works together for the good of those who love the Lord. And I've just been telling myself that, like, lately. I've really been hammering that into my mind, and it has helped me tremendously with just, realizing that, hey, this is all gonna work out because that is a promise that God's made you. And that's one lesson that I'm so grateful for. I feel like if I hadn't gone through what I went through when I was 18, I wouldn't, or I'm still 18, but if I hadn't gone through what I went through, I wouldn't have known that. And that's something that's going to carry me through the rest of my life, honestly. Like, that scripture has really carried me through a lot that has just broken me down and really upset me. But knowing that, it gives me so much comfort. Like, it's the most comforting thing in the world. So that was one thing that I really, really like learned this year. Another lesson that I learned this year is to go for it. And really, I really did go for it with this channel. I was really afraid to kind of put myself out there, but I realized that, like, why am I afraid of what people from high school think? They don't like me anyways. People from high school don't like me anyways, and I really realized that, like, I just need to go for it. Like, oh well, if people think I'm weird or I'm an idiot. And I've started to be a little more open with who I am and just a little more honest with who I am. And it's really cool because in high school I hid that a lot. Like, I hid who I was a lot of the time, to please people who they weren't gonna like me anyways. They're not gonna like you regardless. You gotta realize that people aren't gonna like you regardless of what you do. They're just not gonna like you. So at that point, just do what you want to do. I had to really just tell myself, like, you cannot please the world. You can't. And, like, if you are pleasing the world, that's not a good sign to me. I was, especially in high school, I was just kind of looking for validation. And I realized if I'm looking for validation from these people, like, that's not a good sign. Another really important lesson that I learned, and I know that this sounds dumb, but it's important to me. It's to just go to the concert, man. Just go to the concert. Just go out and do it. Maybe it's just because I have FOMO, like really bad FOMO, where I have it's the fear of missing out. But I just feel like, why not go and experience life, man? Life is too short. And especially, like, going to concerts, you don't know when that artist is ever gonna go on tour again. Go see them. Go enjoy life. And also, that kids my age don't know how to enjoy life properly. I've really realized that, like, how fun is it truly to go out and just get wasted and not remember the night, and to just go do something dumb and you don't even remember it, and to, like, get high. I mean, I know people are gonna, like, get mad at me for saying that, but it's true. Like, I've never done it, and I've had some of the most enjoyable nights of my life. I don't think that that's how you enjoy life. I really don't. Like, I don't think that that's the answer. I would just say to have fun, but to not try to have too much grown-up fun. You think that, like, once you turn 18, you suddenly become a grown-up, but you really don't need to. You can really stay a kid forever. Grown-up world is not a fun world. It's not a world that I think any grown-up really wants to be in. So just enjoy the fact that you're not in that yet. You're not really, like, deep in that yet. This look is messy, but it's, like, way better than, like, I could ever really do. So I'm like, This look is, like, this is really good for me, okay? It's, like, really good for me. I also learned that comparing yourself is going to make you depressed, because you will see that person and you'll be like, wow, they're just doing way better than I am. They have this really good internship, and, they're living life, and they have a social life too. Like, what the heck? They have an internship, they're doing well in school, and they have a social life? Like, my life must suck. You don't realize how much people are going through. And I know that this is probably one of the most cliche, like, lessons to learn, but I truly had to learn that this year, because this year, not going to school and seeing everybody else go to school, it messed with my head a lot, especially because back in high school, I was one of those students that people just knew was going to do something, and to, like, stay home and not be at school and not be, like, it's hard to explain, not really doing anything that I feel like I'm doing something. Like, I did things. I worked for my dad, which was very, it's a very adult business, but I felt like I wasn't doing anything. I felt like I wasn't being productive. I just felt like I was wasting my time and wasting my life. And you see these kids, post on Instagram, but the thing about it is that people are going to present the best picture that they possibly can of their life. They're not going to show you like the struggles. Like, the amount of things that I've heard about people who seem to be so perfect, the amount of things that I've heard about what they're actually going through, it just goes to show that, like, you really can't judge a book by its cover. Like, you cannot think to yourself, man, they're just doing better, because it's not even that they're doing worse in reality. It's just that everyone's kind of going through their own thing, and everyone has their own path that might not be as smooth as others, so I really had to learn to, like, stop comparing myself, because it messed with my head so badly. It was bad. This year, one thing that I started doing and my friends started doing a lot was telling each other that we love each other. And that is something that it kind of seems kind of dumb, but it really means a lot. Like, when you tell someone who's not your family that you love them, it's just, it feels really good. And it feels like, we're going to be friends forever. And I have some of the best friends in the world. And just telling them, love you, it's comforting. And I really realized that this year, like, that's the most comforting sentence someone could ever say to you. And it's not even like a romantic thing. It's just like, you're my friend and I really do love you. I'm going to be there for you regardless of whatever. And that's really helped me a lot. And I also learned to just, like, open up a little more about what's going on with me, especially to my friends. My best friend and I, like, sometimes we'll just be like, I need to call you. And we'll just talk on the phone for hours and, like, cry and laugh hysterically. And it's just comforting to know that, like, you can talk to somebody, because for a very long time, I didn't really talk to people about what was actually going on with me. I talked to them about surface level stuff that kind of meant nothing in the long run. But about real stuff that's going on in my head, I've never really talked to anyone about it, just because I've never really taken my mental health seriously. I kind of just kept things to myself, but to kind of be more open and vulnerable with people has really helped me a lot, especially this year. Again, it was just such a bad year. I needed to open up. I needed to say something to someone, and I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I opened up. I'm glad that, that I just opened up and made things easier on myself, kind of lifted the burden of just knowing this in my head. Now someone else knows it and can tell you, you're not crazy for feeling this way. Another lesson that I learned, and this is just something that I'm going to definitely, like, teach my kids, is to not be so judgmental, to just be a little more compassionate. This year in particular, I've learned to be way more compassionate than I once was. I've always been kind of a judgmental person, I'm not gonna lie. You can ask anyone who knows me, they know this. I've been a judgmental person, like, all my life. But this year, I've just found to be more compassionate. I've just found out, like, you just need to be more compassionate with people, man. Like, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know their backstory. And I've learned to just have more compassion, to just be a little nicer, and to, like, understand where people are coming from more with their individual situations. This year, I've also learned that Tom Holland is my husband. We're going to get married. And I see you naysayers. Just remember, when we have our wedding in Hawaii, our $1 million wedding in Hawaii, you will not be invited. Just saying. and Adele's gonna perform and you're not gonna be there. So, nay say that. Another thing that I learned, and this is going back, it's kind of more relates to like being compassionate, is just changing the way that I think about certain things, especially about race. I have learned a lot about, you know, different stereotypes that I had in my head and just different, I don't know, like I just kind of checked myself a little more about how I thought about things. For example, you won't see me making a joke about people being dark-skinned. Like, you just won't see me doing that. One, I never really did that to begin with, but two, I've realized now how much that affects people. I realize now, just in general, like, don't make jokes about people. Like, don't call people ugly. Don't, you know, body shame people. You have no clue what they're going through. And I've just realized, like, I'm just gonna not say certain things. I'm not going to joke or like say something about something that someone can't even control, you know, about how they look. This look is kind of crazy, but I'm not mad at it though. I'm not mad at it though. So far, I've used this palette, this palette, this one, this one, and this one. And I think I can use the other two actually, which is exciting. I'm using every Makeup Revolution palette that I have. That's so cool. Ooh, yay. I think that I'm just gonna, this video was gonna be like a get ready with me, but I think I'm just gonna make this video more just about the eyeshadow, even though I haven't shown you any of the eyeshadow that I've used. I'm just gonna show you at the end what I did, but I'm just gonna go ahead and keep talking and finish off this look, finish off my face, and then I'll tell you at the end exactly what I did to achieve this look. One thing that I've learned about myself is that I am way stronger than I would have imagined. I can deal with way more than what I've ever given myself credit for. And I'm really proud of that. Like, I'm really proud of how far I've come and just like me being able to deal with everything, man. Everything that's happened. I've also learned that I'm gonna have to ignore a lot of things that happen that bother me. I've had a lot of people try to bring me down. You know, I've had people post videos about me. I've literally had someone post a video about me and make fun of me. And I heard that like other people who I don't even know were talking about it. And that's like such a dark thing for me because I would never do that to someone. So for them to do that to me was probably, it was disgusting. It was really disheartening. But what I did learn is that, you know, to just move on, man. To just move on. You can't hold on to things from high school. If I held on to everything from high school, I would be such a miserable person. And so to see someone post a video about me because they're holding on to things from high school, things that happened months ago, to see them do that, it taught me to not do that, to not be that person that holds on to things, that holds like these deep grudges. I've just learned to kind of let it go, to just kind of say, you know what, I'm done with being mad all the time and just being upset all the time. Like, how are you supposed to enjoy life if you're just mad? You know, like how are you supposed to be happy? All right, so here is the look that I have so far. It's a little messy. I swear I'm gonna clean it up later. And I've used 6 of these palettes, 6 of them, which is Didn't think I would do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the last one. I have 7 Makeup Revolution palettes. I'm going to use the 7th one soon, but I'm just gonna, you know, do my base a little bit, and then I'll come back for the rest of the eyeshadow look. So now I'm just gonna take my last palette. I think just overall what I've learned at 18 is that, like, you don't have, whatever you planned, if it doesn't work exactly how you thought it would, it's not the end of the world. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to still get there. The journey just might be different. It's different for a reason. The journey is different than what you planned for a reason. And I definitely learned that. And also, you know, you don't need to stress about your future right now. Do you know how young you are at 18? Like, do you know how much life can change between 18 and 30? How much different you're gonna be and how much time you still have? Like, the amount of time that you think you have at 18 is like nothing. Like, you think that you don't have any time at all, and you have to start just getting to wherever, like, as soon as possible, and that's just not true. I would say to just slow down, smell the roses, and don't take yourself too seriously. Nothing's worse than an 18-year-old who thinks that they have life figured out. You don't. And you're not as intelligent as you think you are. And you're not as well versed in politics as you think you are. So humble yourself and just have fun being young, man. You're only 18 once. You better enjoy it. Because honestly, I didn't. So I hope if you're watching this and you're turning 18, or, you know, you're younger, that, like, you enjoy that 18, because it's a cool age to be at. It's like you're like a baby adult. It's like you kind of have responsibilities and you're kind of independent, but you're also, like, not. All right, so here is the final look. I don't know, I just decided that I was gonna do something way out of my comfort zone, and I'm kind of happy I did, because I kind of think this is cool. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then I will come back and I'll show you exactly what I did, how I got this look. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me, so I will be right back. All right, so here is the finished look, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I did really quickly. So I took the Marvelous Mattes palette, and I took this shade in the inner corner. I took the Neutrals 2 palette, and I kind of blended it right next to that pink. Then I went back in with the Marvelous Mattes palette, and I took this red and I put it over the red that I used earlier just to make it more vibrant. Then I took this purplish kind of pinkish shade, and I took that right next to that red. Then I blended, what did I do? I blended out like those first 4 shades with this shade right here. So I put that, I just kind of blended it out on top. Then I went back in with this shade right here. Yeah, I went back in with this shade right here, right next to that purple. Then I took my, this palette, I'm jumping all around, but this palette is the Provocative palette. Then I took the Division palette, and I took this green right here. I put that on the outer corner. I then took this shade right here and blended out that blue and that green, and blended it out with this shade on top. I then did a cut crease, and I took this black and I put it on the cut crease, kind of blended it into that green and blue. Then I went back in with this shade in the Neutrals 2 palette, and I put it over the black. But then I took, oh, I'm going everywhere with this. I took this shade right here and blended it kind of onto the black and where that red met. Then this is the shade that I took all over pretty much my lid. And then I took this shade and I put it in my inner corner. And I took this blue on my my lower lash line and this shade on my lower lash line. So I just put this shade on top of this blue right here. And that is how I created this look with all 7 of my Makeup Revolution palettes. This is not the video that I planned, but I'm glad that I made it. So yeah, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something if you did from just what I learned at the age of 18. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Go ahead and comment down below what you learned at 18 or whatever age, just any big life lessons that you've learned. That would be greatly appreciated. I would love to see what you've learned throughout your life. And please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I post every single Tuesday and every single Friday. So yeah, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.